Basically, the role was a mixture of technological and managerial blend. So, finding these two things at the same time with experience about 10 to 12 years was a big challenge for me.
Shourav, very nice to have you with us here today. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about how you got into recruitment and your journey so far?
I'd say I graduated from Northwood University based in Dhaka, Bangladesh in 2021, and I joined one of the company called Remote Office. It's based in Australia. I joined them as a talent acquisition associate back then, and that's how I actually started. That's in July 2021, and after that I joined Augmetics. Augmetics is a US-based company. Back in 2022 March, I joined Augmetics as a recruiter. Worked there for like 2.5 years. I got promoted this year into senior recruiter in Augmetics, and even in this year in August, I got an opportunity from a UK-based company called Go Virtual, and I'm working there as a recruitment lead as of now. So yeah, that's been so far the journey of recruitment.
And tell us a little bit about what you think a recruiter needs to have in terms of skills to be very, very good at what they do.
My interest in recruitment basically started with my the selection of a major. So initially I was a major student of finance, but later on I actually switched to HR, which actually gave me this opportunity. So I actually did my internship in one of the top pharmaceutical company in Dhaka, and this is where is the place basically I got the first and working experience on HR in terms of talent acquisition only. That was the common focus goal so far right now, and I actually loved it because this is a certain wing of HR. Like HR has like different wings in different fields, right? So but talent acquisition is a place where it's only place where you get to know a lot of people. You get to know a lot of different experiences, a lot of new faces. Building relationships is one of the best thing that actually talent acquisition gives you, and that's one of the best thing that happened to me, and I actually really admire it. In terms of the second question is that what are the key skills or qualities a recruiter should have? I think first of all, in my experience, what I felt is that in terms of saying more, it should be listening to other people. That's one of the key quality you should have, to listen more. Definitely be optimistic and empathetic towards people, towards the situation that they're describing, whatever they're. So my motto in terms of successful recruitment is you don't just fill out the position, you go into the life of the candidate. You know them personally. You build that relationship. Even if the position doesn't work on that ground, we can work on together in future, maybe, right? So you have to build a relationship with people. So relationship building is these are the two most important things that I follow, and I think these are the two most important things that every recruiter should have within their skills, abilities, and knowledge. And the rest of the things will happen with the on-the-job experience and everything, and with the guidance of the leaders and everything.
What are some of the challenges that you've experienced or faced in your recruitment career?
In terms of my recruitment career, particularly I had a long time in Augmetics, so there are a lot of senior leadership roles that we had to hire, and some of the roles are very critical. Initially, my focus was technically on the technical roles like software engineers, IT professionals, and there are certain roles that were the department heads, and the roles were like, if I can give you an example, there was a head of the department in terms of a single wing of a software team. Basically, the role was a mixture of technological and managerial blend. So finding these two things at the same time with experience about 10 to 12 years was a big challenge for me, and definitely Augmetics being a US company based in Dhaka, Bangladesh, the position will be the night shift thing was also a big challenge for me. So there are three things. One is that the person should be technologically super sharp, along with a managerial blend. That person will be communicating with the product team, the business development team, so that whenever there is a requirement from the product team, he or she should be the person who is going to align this requirement with the technological skill along with the managerial skill to adjust the timeline, adjust the project duration, how the project will be, and everything on behalf of his team as well, right? So this is a blend that we're looking for. And on top of it, the night shift position was a issue. So we're finding a lot of people who are technologically very sharp, super architectural knowledge, but in terms of managerial skills, the sort of people, the sort of mindset that we're looking for, the skill sets were there. Honestly speaking, we got like 50 interviews for this position. The skill sets were fantastically amazing, but the mindset were actually lacking there. And on top of it, the night shift thing was there. So eventually, what I did is that I actually went through my ATS. I went to the talent pipeline and actually looked for people who previously worked for Optics in the initial beginning of the company, and I actually contacted them personally throughout LinkedIn, throughout in WhatsApp, in whatever means that I actually got, and very fortunately I got someone who used to work in Optics back in 2012, and that person was working in Japan right now in a big IT company, and I actually convinced him, like, if you can have chat with me, I'd like to discuss this role with you and everything. And then we talked, and eventually we had a couple of interviews, one technical, one with the management, and eventually we landed up on him once again with Optics. So that was a big challenge for me and was also a success for me as well.
Let's talk about sourcing. So tell me a little bit more about how you are conducting your intake calls and the best practices around that, and then how you apply that when it comes to the sourcing strategies.
So in terms of sourcing, so far in my experience, what I did is that I heavily rely on ATS. A strong ATS it's a fantastic sourcing tool in terms of, because it builds a certain pipeline from previous roles, and definitely it continues to build in. So that's a fantastic store. Definitely that's one. Number two is about LinkedIn. So we used to use LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. So LinkedIn has been a good point of view in terms of sourcing, developing personal networkings as well. And they're like, in terms of specific roles, let's say we're going to hire DevOps engineer, we're going to hire maybe IT professionals or customer support professionals. There are different categories of groups in LinkedIn's and social media like Facebook's and Indeed as well. So we used to go to these groups and advert these roles in these groups as well, so that there is a personal networking building through the focus groups, so that we can have those bunch of people in our pipeline. So yeah, these are the things, and definitely personal networking is a fantastic thing that one recruiter should have. These are the things that basically I look for sourcing. In terms of strategies, what we used to do is that whenever there is a requisition, based on the requisition, we used to improvise the strategies. So let's say we want someone in the DevOps team, and the deadline, let's say we got is within 20 to 25 days we want to onboard someone. So basically, in terms of this sort of deadline, what we used to do is that we used to push it. So what we used to do is that we talk with our internal engineering team, and we have a referral program for these positions as well. So we actually advertise those positions internally, that if you got someone who is actually talented for this position, since we have a limited timeline, so you can refer to this pool, and we will definitely have an interview with those people. That's number one. Number two is that what we used to strategize is that we used to go to different people who were industry leaders in different companies they're working right now. We used to go and talk with them, that what are the things that they're actually currently doing, and if there are any a potential applicant or potential candidate that they have in their checklist. We used to invite them to have a coffee with us, or to have know our company culture, know about what we do here, what is the benefits and everything, and then we indirectly give them a hint maybe that yes, we have certain openings that actually aligns with you, and if you're interested, why don't you have a interview. So these are the sort of things, like direct approaches we did in terms of roles which are very crucial to hire within a short period of time. In terms of long period roles, let's say I need someone 30 days or in 35 days, I used to go through my regular ATS where people should apply, and we used to go to the interviews and everything.
As you've worked with global companies from all over the world, what would you say is required when it comes to your persona or your certain personality that is helpful for them to conduct the role that they need?
In terms of my approach, I'd say I've always been very optimistic with the roles, and before I speak to any candidate, or before I even go through this whole process, I have a self-led research about this position, what this position is all about, what is this gonna work or not, what are the challenges that the person is gonna face in this job. So I go to the job itself to understand that, for a layman's term, how can I portray this job to someone who is gonna work in this, and what are the challenges, what are the tasks they need to do and everything. So I have a overall idea what this is about, and then I go and pitch this to the candidates, and definitely that helps with optimism towards my point of view while describing this position, while describing the culture, while describing the opportunities and everything. So optimistic approach has been a good thing that I have been doing so far.
How would you describe recruitment to someone who doesn't know much about it? And what skills would you say that they need to have to take an interest in recruitment if they wanted to build a career?
If someone is completely new in the industry who's going to start recruitment, or if I want to influence someone who is to work with recruitment, I think I should ask them, how do you like people? If the answer is something that is positive, yeah, I love to talk with people, I love to connect, I love to build relationships and keep them alive. I think that these are the things would be very much to take on. And in terms of the skills, knowledge and abilities, I think HR is a field which is more on the job rather than in terms of theoretical. So if someone who is completely new, they can start up with a co-op, they can start up with an internship, maybe an apprenticeship within any company. They get to know the ins and outs, and then they jump on if they really like it.
Where do you see your recruiting or talent acquisition career go? What does the scope look like for you?
I actually worked with, along with talent acquisition, I work with employee benefits, employee engagement as well. But talent acquisition has been the common focus in each and every role that I actually did so far. So in terms of my understanding, I think it would be much more better for me if I can become a talent acquisition manager, maybe in the company, handling people, because in my previous role I actually we got an intern personally for my talent acquisition roles, everything, and I actually built and brought up this person from internship to a full-time role within 7 to 8 months within Augmedics. So that was a success for me as well. So I think grooming people, understanding, because once I have a bunch of people working along with me, the sort of understanding the sort of focus that I can have with them, each individual has we have 5 fingers in the hand, and each of them are different. So this skill actually develops within me, that I know this person. So if I have soup making ingredients, there's common soup making ingredients, and I have 5 people. Now if I give these 5 people soup making the same ingredients, the 5 people is gonna make different soups of different tastes within these same qualities, right? So grooming up people within a short or narrowed or focused point of view actually gives me this idea. At least I got this idea from our colleagues, that if I can have this role sometime in my career, that I can groom people, I can teach the mindset, how to have the mindset to work on something. Because the skill set can be the skill set is something you can teach someone, that yes, I do not know Excel, you can give me a course, you can give me guidance, you can give me shortcuts, but if I do not have the mindset of learning, there's not a possibility for you or anyone to do it. So building up mindsets, grooming up mindsets is something that I actually loved while building this intern into this full-time position. And this is something that I actually discovered that's something within me, and I really love to do this sometime. And surprisingly, I figured it out that I love to work with youngsters. Like I have two nephews in my home, and there's someone who actually shares everything with me, because I don't actually treat them with as an uncle nephew relationship. It's more of a friend relationship that I have with them. So this is something that I also try to build up with candidates, build up with my colleagues as well, that there is no hesitation in terms of learning, because if you do not have the mindset, a broader perspective, in terms of building a broader perception, things wouldn't work in the long run. So that's something that I feel, and if I get an opportunity to have a certain team like that to work in the company as a manager, definitely that would be a fantastic opportunity for me.
Sure, you've been absolutely awesome, and I've so enjoyed talking to you. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for everything.